Hello, my name is Michaela and I'm here with my teammates Arlene, Zubair, and Juwaria. Today we will be presenting our WeShare web development project. I will begin by giving you an overview of what our project is about. So, what is WeShare about? This is just a short overview of the WeShare application. So, WeShare is a web application designed to simplify the process of tracking shared expenses among friends, grounded in principles of social trust. In today's increasingly digital world, managing expenses within social circles can be cumbersome and also prone to misunderstandings. Our project aims to address this challenge by providing a user friendly platform where users can seamlessly track and manage their shared expenses in a transparent and collaborative manner.
Hi, my name is Joanna Jalal, and I'll be speaking about the planning process. With regards to this project that we had, it took us 4 weeks to complete, and the first week we dedicated towards research and planning. On day one of the first week, there was a kickoff session where we all explained how to go about this project, what was required of us, and just made us understand the curriculum and where to look for. On day one, all my team members were required to attend this kickoff session. Immediately after the kickoff session, we had to go to the curriculum and read up further and have better understanding of the curriculum. On the second day, we all got together and discussed what we understood from the curriculum, and we filled each other's gaps in. If one did misread something, or did not understand a specific section, we helped the person understand and made sure we all were on the same page. Further, to help each other, we took the curriculum and we divided into subtopics, whereas each member had a subtopic to do research on. And we had created slides where we used that subtopic and summarized it further. And then the following day, we did a presentation that all team members could understand. And if while doing the project, they had to go back to understanding, they didn't have to read through the whole curriculum, whereas they could just refer to the slides where it was summarized. It helped a lot of time because reading through a lot of information is very time consuming, whereas you can just go to something that is summarized and in more in depth, just exactly what we needed. So that's all we used the first week was to understand the curriculum, what is required, and how we're going to tackle this work. We used mainly the website to help us, which is one of our main sources for information. And then we used such as W3 schools and YouTube, but we did depend mainly on the curriculum. We had daily stand up and check ins, whereas sometimes the times were not met. Some people had to attend meetings when we had a set time for stand up. So we preferred to do stand up via Miro boards. There was a planning that we had where it asked everyone what they achieved last week, what's their goals for this week, and what is the obstacles. And it helped us track where each student is and what they have tackled so far and what they're busy tackling or if they're struggling with something so we could go and help. Microcodes really helped with planning and just stand up and knowing about the other things. I was speaking about how we did it and what worked best for my team and I. The IDE we used is IntelliJ, and the reason was we were coding with Java and IntelliJ works best to be coded for Java to be coded on is IntelliJ based. And the conclusion that was drawn up from all our research was code creating that worked best for my team. As we know, we had 4 weeks to code this project, and the first week was all dedicated to research and everyone understanding and making sure everyone was on the same page. Towards the end of the week, we had a lot of information and less time to code. So we decided to do code pairing, whereas two members were dedicated into a specific part of the code while the others were making sure, the other two were making sure the previous code is working and the tests are all running. And we did division of subtopics, such as when curriculum was released, we decided to divide it into subtopics. Everyone had a specific topic to do research on and put it on the slides for others to understand instead of one person reading through the whole curriculum and researching on all four topics, which is very time consuming and less time for coding. So that method worked best for us, dividing the topics and everyone having a specific topic to research and making the others understanding and filling in the gaps. We also had regular check-ins through Miro and just stand up, which helped a lot to know where the one is or where the one is struggling, who needs help, and who is far behind and who is far ahead, so that we knew who could help who and who we could just play together, which also helped us to understand who was struggling where and who needed help as well as where we are standing with the project. We didn't want one to struggle for too long, so it worked perfect with regular check-ins. We also did unit tests to make sure that the code is working and we're not just coding all out all everything and nothing is working. So unit tests really helped in making sure everything is perfect. So the challenges that were faced during this project was my team members and I struggled with Java, understanding Java. So it's also very time consuming. We had to refer to other websites to teach ourselves Java. It was a bit difficult where some caught it quicker and while the others took longer to understand. My team and I also struggled with controllers such as the expense controller, the payment request, payment sent, and payment received controllers, as well as the person controller, as well as the payment. Those were one of the struggles that we had and we spent a lot of time on. This is estimated pre-cost analysis of the project. So as you can see, this personal expense, this refers to the money spent on paying the salaries and wages of the people working on the project, like developers, designers, and project managers. The cost can change depending on how skilled the team members need to be for the project. Then there's hosting expenses. These are the costs associated with where your website is stored and made available online. There are different options. There's entry-level shared hosting. This is like sharing a room with others where the costs are lower, typically ranging from 40 Rand to 74 Rand per month, mid-tier VPN hosting. And mid-tier VPN hosting, this is more like having your own room in a shared building with costs ranging from 4,000 to 2,000 per month. And then we move on to software and hardware expenses. These are the costs for things like computer programs, tools, and equipment needed to build the project. The prices can range between based on exactly what the project needs. Then we have web design professional hiring. This is about how much it costs to hire someone who's really good at designing websites. They charge between 884 and 50 and 1,160 Rand for every hour they work. Then there's training and education expenses. This is the money spent on workshops, classes, and certifications to help the project team get better at what they do. We calculate this as the average cost for each person who participates in these learning activities. Then we have infrastructure expenses. These are the costs associated with where your website is stored and made available online. The cost depends on which hosting options you choose. We also have shared hostings. This is like sharing a space with others, so it's cheaper, ranging from like 40 Rand to 74 Rand per month. VPS hosting, you can get a portion of a serve portion of a server just for yourself. So it costs more, ranging from 400 Rand to 2000 Rand per month. Then there is also dedicated hostings. You get the whole server all to yourself starting at around 1450 Rand per month. So when planning your budget, you'll need to consider which hosting options is best for your project and how much it will cost. This is the cost analysis table, and I'll be taking you through it. There's expense type, there's description, and there's cost range. The first expense type is software and hardware expense. These are the costs for tools, software, and equipment needed for developing the project. The expense varies based on what the specific project requires. Then we have web design, professional hiring. This refers to the cost of hiring a professional to design the website. The hourly rate with this service ranges from 884.50 to 1160 rand. Next is training and education expense. These are the costs associated with training, workshops, and courses and certifications to improve the skills of the project team members. The average cost per participant is considered. Then we have infrastructure expenses. This includes costs related to hosting the website. There are different hosting options available, such as a shared hosting, which costs between 40 Rand to 74 Rand per month. BBS hosting costs 400 Rand to 2000 Rand per month. Dedicated hosting starts around 1450 Rand per month. These are the main expenses to consider while planning and budgeting for the project.
Understanding web development fundamentals. So, the programming language we used in our project was Java. We utilized object oriented programming to structure the code. We used CSS to style the web pages. This made the web application more visually appealing. We also used HTML, which defines the layout and organization of the content, and it provides the basic structure of our web pages. We used Git, so Git was for version control and collaborative development. It enabled our team to work together on the code base, track changes, and manage different versions of the project efficiently.
Hi, I'm Zubair Baba and I'll be showcasing our website demonstration and web development tools. We'll explore the site's nature, demonstrate typical transactions, highlight its user-friendly design, and dive into some key HTML and CSS features. Our website functions as a social expense tracker, enabling shared expense recordings, payment requests, and group expense tracking. So kicking off our website demonstration, I'll log into a demo account to give you a physical overview of its web pages. So before we log into our website, let's just have a look at our login page for some of our CSS features. So you'll see with our login button, we use CSS for the design of the button. So we made the button in green and we also enlarged it so that it's easy for the user to see. We also enlarged some of the fonts so that it's easily readable by the user. So let's log into one of our demo accounts. So once you log in, you'll be directed to your expenses page. So on the expenses page, we have our expenses, payment request sent, payment request received, and our logout button. So as you can see, as you hover over each option, it highlights it in green so that it's easily seen by the user for which option they'll be choosing from. Our add a new expense is also in blue, as well as lunch and airtime, because these are other options that the user can choose from. So moving on to our payment request sent, we used our table feature in HTML to display our information. We use CSS to ensure that all the data is spread out evenly and to ensure that all the data is below their respective descriptions. We also have a total unpaid so that the user can see the total amount that is owed to them. If we move to our payment request received page, if there is nothing owed to you, then it will just say you don't owe anybody anything. And we also have our logout button. But back to our expenses page, let's just add a new expense so I can show you how easy it is to add a new expense. So everything is in a form. We use the form feature to display this page. So we have a description, our amount, and our date. So for the description, we'll just say demo, and for a amount, we'll put in an amount. And as you can see, it says no cents allowed. And for the date, we'll put in the 30th of the 5th. So with the date, it shows you that you should put first the day, the month, and the year, and you also have an example of it. So let's submit this, and you'll see that the demo expense gets added to our expenses, and you'll have the amount and the date. So say for instance that this is a business expense and we don't want to pay for that. You just click on the demo and it will go to a payment request form. So on this page you'll be able to submit a payment request, and we have the expense on this page as well, so that it's easy for the user to see what expense it is, the description, the amount, and the date of it. So the email address of the person that you should pay, we need to add that in. So we'll just say to student 2, the amount, so you can look at the amount over here and it shows 50, so we'll put in 50 rand there. And by when must the claim be settled, and also put in the way that the date should be inserted. So we'll put in the 30th of the 4th 2024, and let's submit that. So once you submitted a request, it will show up on this page as well. So we'll have who you sent it to, the due date, if they paid it or not, and how much it was. So if we go back to our expenses page, we'll see for the demo you have the payments requested, which is 50 rand. So let's log out and we can log into student 2. So for student 2 there is only one expense, and if we go to our payments request sent, Nobody owes you anything. And received. So you will see for our payment request received, we will see the demo that we've just created. So it will show you the due in days. So we are actually overdue, so we need to pay that as soon as possible. So instead of wasting time, we've just added a pay button so that it's easy for the user to pay all the expenses. So we'll just click on pay, and you'll get a tick to show the user that it was successful. And then you'll also have total unpaid. So the total amount still unpaid for this account is 100 Rand. So if we go back to our expenses page, you'll see the demo gets added to our expenses. And if we were to pay our other one as well, that expenses also get added. Another thing we can also do on this website, if we can add more than one payment request. So let's just add one quickly. So we have student 1, and then let's make another request for student 3, and let's say his lunch was 40 Rand, and we want that by the same date. So as you can see, we have student 3 and student 1, both of them are due on the same day, none of them have paid, and we have each person's amount. So if we go back to our expenses page, you'll see for lunch we have payments requested and we have 75 Rand. So we have the total amount that is required for payment, and then we also have total expenses, which is 300 Rand. So starting off with our web developer and tools, um, we're going to talk about our HTML editors. So there are two main HTML editors available, which are IntelliJ IDEA and Visual Studio Code. These tools are used for creating and editing HTML code in web development. They offer features such as syntax highlighting and error checking and making development easier. Even though Visual Studio Code has great features for live browser synchronization, we used IntelliJ IDEA as our IDE because we use Java to set up our server, and IntelliJ is the best IDE to use because it provides assistance with error checking, syntax highlighting, and code completion, which enhances our productivity. Website design tools such as Timeleaf work with HTML to generate content, improving the user experience. While these tools do boost productivity and maintain code consistency, they may be challenging for beginners. Also, HTML editors lack some customization options found in some web browser tools. Some of the key file formats associated with websites and applications include HTML for defining content structure, CSS for the styling and layout, and JavaScript for interactivity and dynamic behavior, and image formats like JPEG and PNG for visual assets. Additionally, file formats such as JSON and XML are used for data interchange, while server-side scripting languages like Java and Python generate dynamic content. Web browser plugins extend browser functionality, enabling interaction with diverse content types like multimedia, documents, and security features, enhancing the browser experience and customization options for the user. Some of the major plugins available on the market right now are Emmet, Live Reload, and jQuery, which are used to enhance code productivity and by displaying a live window of our HTML files. Live browser synchronization in web development provides instant feedback on code changes and streamlines debugging, leading to improved productivity and more efficient cross-device testing. Maven plugins like Maven Compiler plugin and Maven Surefire plugin are vital for building and testing Java projects. They work seamlessly with Maven, simplifying tasks like compiling code and managing dependencies, thus improving project organization and streamlining development. The only plugins we used in our WeShare project were Maven plugins for our unit tests.